Hello. So I know it's been a really long time since I posted a video. Last video I was 38 weeks pregnant and now I have a 3-week-old. So a few things to share. I'll try and do these sort of quickly because there's a lot going on. But we ended up having my son at 40 weeks, not the original 39 that we had planned. It was a scheduled cesarean. The reason we changed the date was because right before we were supposed to go in, the day before, my husband came down with a pretty bad cold. It kind of had been happening that whole week, but it got pretty bad that night. And we called my doctor to ask her about it. She informed us that he would not be allowed in the operating room with me, and he wouldn't be able to stay in the hospital with me because they couldn't risk infection. Which was really hard to hear. After talking, my husband and I just decided, that's not gonna work for us. He wanted to be there, so I needed him there. So we asked if we could postpone for one more week, since I wasn't due for another week anyway, and my doctor agreed. I had had no signs of labor. I had been taking it really easy. My mom was here, so she could watch my daughter and help with her. So we waited a week. And he didn't come before then. So we actually had my son on September 8th when I was 40 weeks and 1 day pregnant. And my husband was much better by then, so he could come in with me. I had actually gotten a little bit of his cold, but it was really minor, so it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, everything went really well. We got in 7 a.m., well, a little before that morning in the hospital. We showed up and got registered, got checked in. And it took about an hour to prep me. It took until about 8 o'clock, got my IV, had to wait around, had to fill out a lot of paperwork, had to answer a bunch of questions, and then got rolled into the operating room, got my epidural put in, and at about 8 o'clock they started. And it took about just under an hour, and he was born 8:55 a.m. My son was born, screaming and crying as he entered the world. Definitely not quiet. He scored a 9 on his initial, I forget what it's called, but the first test that they do right when the baby is born. It's like APGA or something, and I know I'm saying it wrong, but he got a 9, which is great. 10 is the highest you can get. Very healthy little boy, came in at 6 pounds, 7 ounces, 19 inches long. So he was little, but he was actually bigger than his sister was. And yeah, he is doing great. My recovery this time around went so much smoother than my first. During my first pregnancy, or during my first cesarean, it wasn't scheduled. It was an emergency C-section because I was becoming preeclamptic / almost eclamptic. So they needed to get the baby out. And I had developed some kind of intestinal infection while I was in the hospital. I don't know if that was during the operation or what, but it made my recovery really hard. I was in tons of pain, not only from recovering from the C-section, but just all the stuff going on in my stomach was incredibly painful. So it made recovery really hard. It made nursing really hard because I couldn't comfortably hold my daughter to nurse. Which then made her not want to nurse, so it was just all around very difficult. However, this time around, I did not have any of those problems. I was able to leave the hospital after 2 days, walking around by the first day. That first day, I got my epidural taken out, and I started walking around just my room. And the second day, I was walking around the hospital, doing little laps, taking it very easy, but I was determined to get moving and start my recovery as soon as possible. So the sooner you get up and walk around, the better. And now I'm 3 weeks out, 3 weeks and 2 days, and I'm feeling great. There's my little boy. He's had a lot of gas. He's done. Okay. Sorry. He is trying to sleep this morning. Usually he'll take a 2-hour snooze in the mornings, but I'm convinced that the soup I ate last night is affecting him right now. It was a curry soup. It wasn't real spicy, but it did have curry in it, and I ate a lot of it. I think it's not having the best effect. So let's go see how he's doing. You can hear him. Buddy. I know, I shouldn't have eaten that soup. So here we are, and here he is. I'll try and get to a place where, okay, here we go. Well, here's me, and here is Morgan. You say hi? He's like, no, I'm in pain. Sorry, I know this isn't the best, but yeah, so my recovery went really well. Sorry, I'm going to be swaying to try and help him through this. My recovery went really, really well, and he is doing great. He's nursing like a champ. It took him a couple days to really understand, to get it. I think we forget that newborns have to learn even the most basic things like burping and eating and all that. So it took him a couple days to get it. Once he got it, now he's just amazing. He nurses wonderfully, and I am producing enough milk this time. I did not with my daughter. I think partially due to just my horrific hospital recovery. Not the hospital experience. The hospital and staff were wonderful, but it was just my recovery was so painful, and it was hard to hold her that I think that really affected how I nursed her. So anyway, he is nursing wonderfully. We took him in on Saturday when he was 3 weeks old, and he had gone up to a little over 7 pounds. So he is gaining weight, and he is also growing in length. They did not measure him in length, but I know he is because he's actually filling out the newborn onesies now. Those newborn onesies, they don't say a weight or anything, they just say newborn. I'm convinced they're not for any kind of baby that is under 7 pounds, and because they did not fit him. But they're fitting him great now. They're nice and snug, and they fit him just like they should. So he is still in newborn clothes. Doing really good. He sleeps for about 3 or 4 hours at a time at night. During the day, he nurses about every 2 hours, 2 to 3. It was a little bit more frequent and sporadic at the very beginning, and now we're starting to get more into a pattern of 2 or 3 hours. He does have a sensitive stomach. I can tell that what I eat really does affect him. I had broccoli like the first week we had him here. The first night we had him at home, I had broccoli. Not a lot of it, but he was fussy after that, and it wasn't until he pooped out some sort of greenish looking poop that he was much more relaxed, and I could tell it was the broccoli. So, and then like I said, he's been more fussy this morning, I think because I had this big bowl of sweet potato curry soup last night, which by the way is amazing. It's like the best soup ever, and it's great for fall. So it's really sad that I don't think I'm going to be able to eat it because it does seem to affect him pretty. He is more fussy this morning than he is normally. Like I said, normally he takes a 2 or 3 hour snooze in the morning, and he keeps falling asleep but then waking up. So anyway, things are going really well. Like I said, I'm feeling really good. I have a little bit of tenderness at my incision, only on one side actually. A doctor checked it, and it doesn't look like there's any kind of infection or anything. It just looks like I'm healing differently on one side than the other. Like I'm healing faster on one side than the other, which the healing process is unique to everyone, and it has a mind of its own. So like I said, no infection or anything, nothing bad, just healing faster on one side than the other. And still bleeding a little bit, very tiny, which is common when you breastfeed. You bleed a little longer, but it has helped me slim down pretty quick. The breastfeeding, my arm is killing me. I'm gonna have to put this down, hang on. This is gonna be an interesting video. I'm actually gonna try and put him down. He's like sound asleep now. So he's now sound asleep. I'm gonna go back downstairs and finish my lunch. Oops. All right. That's set back up. Okay. So, yeah. That's about everything. My daughter, who's 2 and 3 months, has been really good with the baby. She totally understands to be gentle. She's totally wanting to be a little helper. She now mimics me with everything I do with her baby doll. She will burp her baby doll. She will change her baby's diaper. She's just a little mommy. It's really cute. So she's reacted awesome. The hardest part has been that I can't hold her or pick her up because of my C-section. You're supposed to wait about 6 weeks before lifting anything heavier than your baby. And she's a good 30 pounds, so I'm definitely not allowed to lift her. That's been really hard on me and her. Probably harder on me than her. I'm used to being very active with her, and so it's been really hard not to hold her. She's gotten used to it now. She sort of sees it as like the new normal, the new routine. We explained to her that I have an owie, and that's why I can't hold her. And we showed her the owie, part of it. Anyway, didn't want to freak her out. But she actually liked that she could see it and that it helped her understand. And she has been really great ever since we explained that. She now just goes straight to her daddy and says, okay, hold me, pick me up. So she's done really well. Like I said, it's probably harder on me because I miss holding her and picking her up. Yeah, things are going well. Like I said, breastfeeding is going really well. I am breastfeeding. My daughter ended up at her 1 month appointment. We found out that she had not gained enough weight, and it was because I wasn't producing enough milk. And I think a lot of that had to do with my recovery and how painful it was and how it affected my nursing. My milk just did not come in very strong. And so we had to start supplementing her on formula at about a month old. And so far with my son, with him, I have not had to worry about that. He is gaining weight great, eating like a champ. I am already starting to pump and save milk for when I go back to work. So I've already frozen about 20 ounces. I haven't been able to pump in the last week or so because he is eating more frequently now. I think he's going through a bit of a growth spurt. So there's really no milk to pump. I was pumping at the beginning because when he would eat, he wouldn't completely empty out my breast. And so I needed to relieve that and I would pump the rest out. Now he's completely eating it all. He's not, I'm just not needing to pump. So yeah, I haven't pumped in a while, but as it gets closer and closer to when I need to go back to work, I'll start pumping more in between feedings to keep saving up milk. But yeah, I'm drinking tons and tons of water, eating lots of good calories. I've bought this wonderful new water bottle. It's a liter water bottle. I like it because it tells me exactly how much water I'm drinking. So I try to drink at least 2 of these a day. So 2 liters of water a day, but I will do more sometimes as well. And I'm snacking a lot, making sure I'm getting enough calories. You burn so many calories when you breastfeed that it's important to take in a lot. And it's fun because it's like one time in my life when I can be taking in all these calories and not have to worry about it and actually be losing weight, which is amazing. Again, thanks to breastfeeding and genetics, I guess, I have managed to lose all the baby weight. I really didn't gain a lot with this pregnancy. But I've lost it all, and at this point, all that's left is just the skin on my stomach, the extra skin, which isn't going to go away until I can start working out and trying to do something about it. But I don't really care right now. It's not much. No big deal. So it might be tougher this time since it was my second pregnancy. We'll see. I don't know. I'll let you know how working out goes, but I still have a good 3 weeks before I'm going to even try that. Yeah, that's everything. I know this might be long and a weird video because I've tried to move the camera around as I walked, but the boy is now sound asleep. I gave him a few Mylicon drops, which my doctor said I could start doing because he is kind of a gassy baby. He has a lot of trouble getting it out. I don't think he has more gas than normal than any other kid, but I think he just has a hard time getting it out, so he needs a little help every now and then. I definitely use them sparingly. I don't use them every day. Oh, he's crying again. I better go. Again, that damn soup. Shouldn't have eaten curry soup. What was I thinking? Anyway, that's it. I'll hopefully update soon when he's a month old. All right, bye.